Hi there. How are you? How am I? I really don't know. So that's why I'm a stick person. You know, let's find out how I am. I'm clueless, but I'll find out as I talk. Because when I'm talking, what I'm really doing is journaling here. I used to write. I just went and needed to change a lead in a particular pencil. And I was so surprised to find that I had literally a whole jar full of what I thought was leads and erasers and things, and the whole thing was just erasers for the various kinds of mechanical pencils and regular erasers and things too. I used to write these journals. I wrote them for many years, and as a matter of fact, I sometimes would write 60 pages in a day. I mean, that would be a big day, of course, and the hand would get tired. A lot of writing. And so eventually, in kind of serendipitous way, I learned to write with both hands. So it came to me one day to begin doing that with the journal. So when one hand would get tired, I would write with the other one. Strange, I know. And now I talk. And yeah, things change. You know how it goes. Okay, I was just sitting here pondering the sunset. I still love to sun gaze. I really do. It's just, I haven't got words for it. But anyway, um, it's what's inside of us that manifests out there. What we think of things is, we don't realize it, but it's often what things think of us. It's often, we're telling ourselves via the outer world what we need to know, what it's time for us to hear. Things are so perfect like that, but we don't get to see it until our vision is cleared, and I'm not saying mine's all cleared up either. Now, I'm not claiming any kind of perfection here. All the perfection belongs to Source. It's just that we do too. We are that, and so we partake of it. I don't understand identity, individuality, that kind of thing. I just take what I'm given and flow with that and fly with that, and it just works well for me, that's all. I mean, I'm really happy. I'm rich with what I've got inside, and there's not a price you could pay me for that. You know, it's priceless. It really does go beyond price. I mean, the whole reason we buy things and do things and go places is for happiness, right? In one way or another, we're seeking to be happy. Well, what if you could have your happiness right now, regardless of all of that? What if you discovered you didn't need anything to be happy? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Well, I mean, that's my reality anyway. And maybe I'm a kook, all right? Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I really belong in the funny farm. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, we're at a funny stage in the cycles that the Earth is and the Sun and the solar system is going through right now. And I think personally, individually too, things are kind of all shook up and rather mixed up, and we're not sure of what's what, but something comes to me to share, and that is, how much do you focus on what you have versus what you don't have? In general, do you tend to focus on things that are negative, things that are wrong in some way, things that are missing in your life maybe? And how much focus do you put on things that are beautiful, things that make you happy? Well, I don't know where I first got the idea, but it kind of gelled for me. when I read it in some of Marciniak's work with the Pleiadians, and that is spend time being happy. Now, Joseph Campbell said it a long time ago, follow your bliss, and he's not the first one that said it either. I mean, in a way, it's all the same story, just told in different words or from different perspectives and things. But really, that's something that each and every one of us is empowered to do. You can focus on what makes you happy, what gives you joy. And looking at the sun as it sets, it just fills me with such joy and happiness. And a real communion gets going there. And I don't know how the energy's flowing. I'm not seeing onto the other dimensions or anything. I mean, we all have a crew of light beings on other dimensions that work with us and that help us. And it's a thankless task because, I mean, how can you thank what you can't even see, right? And when things go right, regardless of how much effort they might have put into making that come about, do we thank them? No, we think it's just us or something. So anyway, again and again, I'm finding maybe what most of you are, and that's when you rise in consciousness, it's not at all what you expected. And life isn't what it seems. You're probably getting tired of the body fitting in a thimble thing. I'll have to come up with something just as good. Not sure what that is. I mean, I tell you, all of your solid substance in your body fitting into a thimble, to me that kicks butt. That is just rocking. It's beautiful. It shoots a major hole through the heart of our beliefs around 3D reality and what solidness is and what 3D is and what we are, everything. I think it's beautiful. You know? Kind of like a Zen koan in its own way. It's neat. Atoms being empty. I'm so glad we're to the point where we've discovered that. Our science isn't nearly as far as it could be, and it will be pretty soon, I guess. But it's far enough to have given us quantum physics. And so much that's really awesome has come out of that. A lot of scientists were mystics. They have been down through the years. Did you know Isaac Newton was a mystic? The gravity thing, that was just the smallest portion of his writings and his works. But we aren't told that. You know, everything we've been given has been slanted and projected in a way that was most beneficial to those who are in charge. So, you know, no time for resentment or revenge. That doesn't do anybody any good. Time to just wake up and walk away from all the programming. Just let it go, let it drop. It will. It'll drop off like an old suit of clothing. And you just step over and out and away. And it's past. You know? So, when we look, what is our gaze doing to what we're looking upon? Do you send love in your gaze? Do you send gratitude and appreciation for what you're seeing? That's another thing that I've discovered. If you want abundance, be grateful. Be grateful for what is, for what you have. I forget who said it, but there's a neat kind of a saying that the gist of it is, he is wealthy who is happy with what he has, what she has. And it's really true. I mean, remember, what's the point of all the purchasing, all the buying, all the owning, the wearing, the showing off, the using? What's the purpose? To find happiness, right? Well, again, what if you didn't need all of that stuff? What if it was just in the way there to keep you from finding your happiness, real and true and deep happiness? So, what are you? Turn your gaze inward. Who and what am I? What is life showing me through this thing that's staring me in the face here? This problem, this issue that I have. What is life saying to me? And what if it's a really good thing that's being said? What if it's something that life knows that I really need to hear? That it will be most beneficial. What if? What if life is perfect that way? Everything that comes to you, every little thing that's said, everything you hear, even just in passing, there's no accidents, friends. Ain't happening. Accident is an illusion. Okay? So what if everything was perfect? Would that make you happy? Could you adjust to that? Could you adjust to being not happy? For some people, not being happy has become a drug. They're not happy unless they're unhappy. You know? A lot of weird stuff. A lot of stuff's upside down. Like when we're sick. How much part do we play in either manifesting that or keeping it around? Are we ready to be healthy? Would we really want perfect health if it was given to us? What would that mean if all of a sudden you had perfect health? What would you do with it? Would you feel burdened to go out and get a job? Do things like that? Take a more active part in life? Things like ill health sometimes can be a means of running away. And I know my body isn't healthy. I speak to myself. How open and honest are we? How ready and willing are we to hear whatever's right, whatever's true? If you hold things lightly, you don't have to do diddly squat, okay? It's all your choice. But if you choose to hold things lightly, then, well, it's easier to hear what life has to say, that's all. A lot of other stuff isn't making a lot of noise and getting in the way. Stuff tends to run interference, all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, I was just so joy-filled with the understandings that were flowing as I was gazing at the sun, the setting sun. That was a regular water pot. Need half a box of tissues sometimes. Things just get so beautiful, it's like the heart overflows and it comes out the eyes, you know? Tears are funny. Did you know, by the way, that the makeup of tears, the chemical makeup, is entirely different depending upon why they've arisen? Whether it's from anger or fear or joy or so much happiness you can't contain it, or sorrow or whatever. The chemical composition of the tears is entirely different. Look it up. Do the research. Don't trust everything you read or hear on the internet. You know, that was part of the plan too, by the way. Once the truth got out, and the dark cabal or the Illuminati or whatever, once the bad guys realized the truth was out there and they couldn't stop it, they can't kill the truth sayers fast enough, you know, more rise up in their ranks. Well, I think they probably put their heads together and decided information overload, that's what we'll do. We'll put so many other things, so many contrary things, so many ideas out there that they won't be able to spot the truth from the lie. It worked for quite a long while. I mean, as long as we're not connected up in heart, we're not in contact with our inner truth detector. That thing that on the other side of the coin is a BS detector, you know? And that's getting stronger and stronger now as frequencies are rising. It's getting easier to tune in. Really. I mean, sure, everything's going to hell in a handbasket on the one hand, but on the other hand, our consciousness is rising. Go figure, right? Are those two connected? Probably. Not one-to-one, though. I mean, duh. I don't know anymore. Is anything a duh? Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh well. Maybe you can get too empty, huh? Or maybe not. See you again soon.